Alright, so the last one you have, after a big snowstorm, Joe and Jim decide to shovel driveways for money. Jim shoveled 3 less than twice as many driveways as Joe. They shoveled a total of 15 driveways. How many driveways did Joe and Jim each shovel? Okay, so this tells you that he's Y and Joe's X. So here's our first equation. So Jim is mentioned first. So Y equals what comes next. So this less than should remind you that that's a switch word. We are subtracting. We're going to subtract 3 from this. And then twice as many as Joe. Twice meaning 2 and Joe meaning X. Okay, so the next part is that they've shoveled a total of 15 driveways. So this would be X plus Y equals 15. So that means I would have to move over the X and it would become a negative. So this would go into Y1. This would go into Y2. So now we're going to put this in the calculator. So clear out 2x minus 3 and 15 minus x. I'm going to press a second trace, make sure that it can graph. So now I'm going to look for the word intersection. 1, 2, 3. So here x is 6, y is 9. So here you would say that this is Joe's and this is Jim's. So Joe shoveled 6 and Jim shoveled 9 driveways. Okay, turn your page and we'll continue part 2. Okay, number 7 on the back will actually take not too long. So again, you should see the word system, which means that we're going to solve both of these for y. So I'm going to rewrite the second one on top, on the side over here. Or I'm going to write the top one on the side, sorry. So I'm going to move the x, change the sign, divide by the number in front of the y. So the number in front of y is technically -1. So I'm going to divide everything by -1. Now this is one that's kind of easy to simplify. So if you really wanted to simplify this one, you could. It would give you 1 plus 2. Or you could just keep it the way it's written. So this is going to go, we're actually going to put this one into y2 when we're done. Okay, so this one, I have to move the 3x and change its sign. So there's not a number in front of y, so we're done. So this is going to be, we're going to put this one in y1. So these are the two equations that we're going to put in the calculator. So in y1, I'm going to type in 16 minus 3x. And in y2, I'm going to type in -1 minus 2x divided by -1. And now I'm going to press graph, because all it wants you to do is determine which one of these graphs matches this. So if you look, the graph that most accurately depicts that would be F. You have the intersection up top where it should be. Here, it's too low. here it's in the wrong quadrant, as well as, no, this one's too low as well. Okay, so your correct answer is F. Okay, so number 9. This is one that I think you guys struggled on yesterday, partly because I think that you guys were just freaking out that you had to use the calculator. Okay, so here you're going to put this in Y1 and this in Y2. Now this is going to look a little bit different because it only shaded the double region. So we'll talk about that in just a second. Okay, so from yesterday, these are both less thans, which means that you need to shade below on both of these. So when you're changing your line, this needs to be below. So we're going to shade below. So how do you do that? Well, you need to go to where your cursor is blinking on the blue with the slash on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to change the line. This one's above, because if you look, it's shaded on the higher part. This is below. This is what we need. We're going to do the same thing to the other one. Again, this is above, this is below. And now I'm going to graph. Okay, so what I tried to get y'all to understand yesterday is this is your double shaded region. Here's all the blue and here's all the red, and then this is where the blue and red meet. So if you look, we're looking for where it's shaded in this section only. So here it's not shaded in the right, so actually the whole graph is wrong. B, I think, would be very accurate, but I'm going to check the other ones just in case I'm not paying attention to the line or something. So here it's too high, and here it's not shaded in the right section. So B would be your correct answer. Number 9, they made this one nice and easy for you. You don't have to solve for Y, it's solved for you. Okay, so you're going to want to change this back to a regular line. This one as well. You don't have to, but it'll graph faster if you do. Alright, so I'm going to type in x plus 4 and then 3x plus 6. And now I'm going to go stat over 4 because I'm looking for the, oh no, not stat, sorry. Second trace. We're looking for the intersection. We're going to let it graph. And we're looking for where it intersects, so we're going to look for the word intersection. And the intersection shows you that x equals -1 and y equals 3. So in this case, in this in this problem, it's specifically asking you for the y value. So our answer is 3 on this one. Alright, so let's look at this last one. There was an error on this one, so if I can get y'all to change this number to 11. It was a typo. Okay, so this is a stat question. And what you're going to do is you're going to find 2 separate equations. You're going to have a y1 and a y2. So it gives you a table and it tells you what's your 2 equations for this. So I'm going to press stat, I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to type in these, just this section right here. So -2, 0, and 4. And then in L2 I'm going to type in the y1s. So 14, 2, and -22. So now I'm going to go stat. I'm going to go to the left. I need the linear equation, so I'm going to press 4, and I'm going to press enter 5 times. So here's my first equation. So I'm going to plug in the -6 where the A is, and the 2 where the B is. So my equation is y equals negative 6x plus 2. Okay? So all I did was plug in numbers where they belong. Alright, so now I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to use the numbers that are in L1. And if you notice, all I'm doing is typing over those numbers. And please change that 7 to 11. Okay, so now I'm going to go stat over 4. And I'm going to enter 3 times. So here my equation is y equals negative 2x minus 3. So those are your 2 equations. What you'll do is look for your answer choices on your test. I will not be here for tutorials today, so if you need tutorials, I will actually be here tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and then Thursday after school. Remember, if you need to see me before school, you need to make arrangements so that I can get here earlier than I normally do. And we will test on Thursday.